record onto this computer. But I wanted to design these 3 days to be really, really super simple because I'm really starting to see the little attention that we all have to learn anything complex. And like, I'm totally guilty of that too. And yeah, just baby steps, just little bites, because this is not something that needs to be drawn out or complicated. It's so easy. The hardest part is just remembering to do it. So you just have to start making a habit of it. Because I invite my guides in for literally everything. Even when I'm driving my car, I set an intention that I want to get to where I want to go safely and easily and no traffic. I live in LA. You got to set the intentions for that. And I asked them to intervene to make sure that my car is protected.
You just want to make payments.
Yep.
So I am going to ask, okay, I'm going to mute Jamie. I'm going to mute Lindsay. And we'll give 2 more minutes and we're just going to get started because we can just pop right in. But I do want to direct your attention, and I might repeat this depending on how many people come in today. But I am offering 2 free intuitive sessions, 2 different people. The whole thing is that you have to refer friends to participate. So as long as they come in by tomorrow, I will still offer a session for that, but 3 minimum people. And then the second person, whoever has the most wild manifesting story, will win a 45-minute session with me. We can just do some intuitive past life healing work. Oh, good. Shannon is here. She said she couldn't come. Hi, Shannon. Here she is. But where you can put and connect with other people, if you look to the left here, I'm not sure what it looks like on the phone, but I put up a pop-up challenge in the sidebar and it says manifesting with your spirit guides. Here's where you're going to find both the feed and the workshop replays. So I'll have that available for everyone by the end of today, just day by day. But in order to participate for the free session, the person who has the wildest story, you have to feed it in the feed and share. And even if you don't think that it's that wild of a story, it could be something very little. I would encourage you to go ahead and share that because I think people just need that inspiration and that excitement. So anything that you're excited about, go ahead and put it in here because I need the feedback too. Like I want to see how it's working for you all. And yeah, so that's going to be over here in the pop-up challenge under manifesting with your spirit guides. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get started because it's already 2:32 and this is a 20-minute little workshop, people. So we don't have a lot of time. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to move this thing changed on me. Okay, and then view. I just want to view myself. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'm just going to leave this here. There we go. All right, manifesting with your spirit guides 3-day challenge. I'm going to break this up into 3 different segments because there really is an art to working and manifesting with your spirit guides, because I think where people get frustrated is that you kind of throw something out there and you're like, guides, like, help me do this. But that's really not their role because we are here for conflict in many ways. But really getting into alignment with yourself and knowing what your truth is, and then creating and cultivating that relationship with your spirit guides so you can start making your life move in a more flowous manner. So there is an art to this, but it's super easy. This is a tool. This isn't something that you need these extreme psychic powers for or anything like that. Like, no. But as I was putting this together, one of the things or tools, I should say, that I work with is I'm very deeply connected with animals. And there's always an animal that shows up for me somewhere, somehow, to support the process with my clients. Now, the specific totem that showed up for this was the parrot, and the parrot represents expanded awareness and spiritual evolution. So if you are interested in calling upon an animal totem, the parrot is perfect for that. And it also represents the many layers of ourselves, because the parrot, think about it, has so many different colors and it's beautiful. When it expands its wings, like you could see all of them. And that's what the parrot is specifically encouraging you to do. So our intention is just to open up an awareness of this tool for you, because it's always been available and it always will be. And this is one of the easiest things you can do to start creating a life that you desire. Now, your spirit team also includes your higher self. So it's not just something, outside of you. This is also you supporting you. And the ground rules is that this is not complicated. We don't need meditation. We don't need advanced intuition or psychic skills or anything like this. You just need to be alive. And the biggest key point is you just need to remember to do it. Just recently, one of my healers was having an issue. And I go, stop. I'm like, did you ask your guides to clear that? And she goes, oh no, I forgot. It was like resolved the next day. I'm like, there we go. So today what we're going to cover is we are going to cover who are your spirit guides. Now, one of the things that surprised me most getting into past life healing is I had never imagined, I'm just going to move this over here, how many guides are available to us, because I think we have this idea that there's one or two people specifically that you work with. And here we go. Sorry, I got distracted with a little comment. That you have one or two maybe spirit guides, but you are infinitely supported. And I really want to reiterate that, as I am shocked at how many beings come into our sessions. And I'm continuing to still learn all the different guides that are available to you. Now, I don't expect you to know exactly who to call on, what to call on, what your spirit guides' names are. I'm just putting it out there is that if you ever feel a specific intuitive drive towards maybe a specific goddess or god or fairies, ascended masters, they're absolutely here to support you and your ascension journey. Now, one of your biggest key points here is that your higher self is a very integral role of your spirit team. It really is your inner self that's guiding this whole thing. And then you have these guides come in and they help you. And for example, you might have one oversoul that kind of guides the whole thing. But throughout your life, you may have a switch in team depending on what your needs are. I recently had a change in spirit team, and it was right around the time that my spiritual gifts really kicked in. So I just needed a different type of energetic support in order to support me in my role moving into supporting the ascension pathway for people. Michelle, I believe isn't your guide Native American?
Yeah, I have a guy that's Native American. Yep.
I love him. He's come in a couple times. So if you have not, and this isn't subjective to if someone specifically has Native American lineage at all. But if you do, I've had some clients come in where that energy comes in quick and it is powerful. So if you're watching the replay and you have any lineage, call on that, because they are here to help big time. We have animal guides, we have intergalactic teams, we have ascended masters, archangels, gods, goddesses. If this interests you, certainly find a book and it will tell you very specifically what to do to call on your spirit guides. So your guides and the spirit realm are here to assist you in your journey and your ascension. But here's the key thing. You have to give them permission to intervene. So if there is anything that you take away from this entire program, it is just the mere fact that you have to give them permission, because we do have free will here on earth, period. And there's no spiritual being that would step in, because that would be crossing the boundaries with you on a soul level, because you, no matter how disruptive or awful or tough a specific situation could be, everything is divinely organized and orchestrated that way, because there is something for you in everything. There's a benefit for you in every single thing that's happening to you in your life. And that's how we deeply expand our consciousness here on earth. And you have to look at our souls. Everyone here on earth is a bit of a soul warrior. Not every soul wants to come here because of the difficulty that it is. But it doesn't mean that every step of the way has to be just drowned in suffering at all. It does not mean that at all. So you can give them permission to start assisting in manifesting, clearing blocks, which we'll go over on the third day, but they do want to see you succeed. So give them permission. Like we could stop here. That's it. But now we're going to go more into the art. So you do need an invocation. And don't worry about having to write this down. This is going to be available to you in the replay. I have all the slides out for you. But this is specifically what I use. And if there is something that works better for you, or there's specific things that you want to say, by all means, go for it. But one of the things I would like to point out is you have to make sure that you are prompting your highest guides and angels. Your highest guides and angels. For example, one of my healers uses my highest guides and angels of Christed light. Because you don't want to prompt and invoke anyone. Like we're going straight to our highest guides. Okay, so let's make that clear. Highest, 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 highest. I'm giving you permission to intervene. I am asking you to assist me in fulfill whatever it is that you want for the greatest and highest good of myself and those around me. So it is done. Thank you. And then show your gratitude. And to break this down a little bit more and why specifically I do like this invocation is that, again, let's say your soul is here to experience a specific hardship. And even though in our logical minds, our human minds, we want to get the hell out of it, there still might be something there for you. So if it's really not in the greatest and highest good for a specific something to materialize or unmaterialize, we want that to stay in place because there's a karmic pattern that's being played out, cleared and balanced, and we're here to get rid of that stuff. And you may not always know that, but there, again, when we come into the art of cooperating with our highest guides, coming back into that space, you can kind of feel it. It's like your intuition knows. And then you start knowing deeper and deeper what to ask for, how to ask for it. And you're going to really start seeing that in those asks materialize at a much faster rate. Because it's like, if you start seeing certain patterns, you're like, okay, I get it. The fact that I'm seeing it, I'm asking you to assist me in clearing this pattern. Boom. Let's move that out of the way. And usually you don't get to that point until it's ready to go. But there is an art to some things. Also, you're not going to be asking to win the lottery. I'm sorry, but you're not here to win the lottery. But you are available. But you do have availability to have massive, massive, massive amounts of abundance. But again, you have to be in alignment with that soul purpose, with your soul's mission, because those resources will always be available to you in order for you to fulfill that mission. So that comes down to the greatest and highest good of myself and those around me, because you're not here to just serve yourself. You are part of a whole. So we got to include ourselves in that, because the more selfish we get in our ask, the less likely that it is to materialize. But at the same time, with that being said, if there is something that really, really excites you, that is your soul communicating to you to do something, to look at that, to follow that path. So maybe in your human perception, you might think that it's selfish. It's probably not, if that makes sense. Like, go for it. Do it. Do it. Okay. So again, you can be fully conscious and awake when you ask these things. Names and genders of guides are irrelevant, as well as how many guides you have. I still don't know how many I have. I just feel them coming in all the time. It doesn't matter. Just let them come in. Prompting. Oh, I already mentioned this, but prompting your highest guides and angels will remove the invitation from unwanted visitors, because you are always in command of this. always. So we don't want to unconsciously open up that invitation to like entities, astral stuff, all that. Like, just let's move that away. Now, I want to, everyone's going to work with their guides differently. So you can ask your guides for anything. But I personally always know they're there, so I don't really need to be like, show me a feather or anything like that. Usually it shows up in the things that I'm asking for. But some people do need that validation, and that's okay. And if that's the path in which you want to take and start cultivating that relationship, these are some ways in which that can start happening. So sometimes they'll come to you in dreams, colors, images, feathers. Some people can hear voices. I don't hear voices. I only heard voices once, loud and clear. And I can tell that story after, if you guys have time, but we only have 5 minutes left. But I'll tell you when the voice clearly came in. Sensations in the body. Listen to your body. That is a big one for me, because I will get this tingly, all the goosebumps. It's like it downloads in when I get a yes. And sometimes things just show up for you. So I want to be clear. Let's get out of this whole mentality. Oh, it's just a coincidence. There's like, coincidence is the dumbest word alive. Like there's no such thing. We just, in our logical minds, have forgotten how everything is intricately intertwined and it's divine timing. It's all perfect. And the communication is always in front of you, and yet we consistently dismiss it. So be sure to think and be extremely grateful for everything that shows up in front of you. And it's that energy, that gratitude that expands your vibration. And it makes this process easier. So every little thing, be like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that sounds really cheesy, but there is a vibrational truth behind that. So today's mission, what I'm going to encourage you to do is, I just want you to get comfortable invoking that prompt that I provided you. Why don't you go over that a few times? My highest guides and angels, I ask for your intervention. Please assist me in, what do you want to do? For example, do you remember when I said anything that can be provided for you when it comes to what your mission is, the tools and resources will always be provided? That is fact. But they'll also provide things for you that, if there's a specific task in life that's just going to also take you away from the mission, they'll put it in place for you. And you probably heard me say this example, but it's like my best example. So I'm just gonna review it. But when my husband and I moved into this house a year ago, I mean, we spent all of our money getting this house. And my mind did go down the rabbit hole of like, oh my God, we're going to get in this house. We're going to have no furniture. How long is it going to take for me to even like rebuild our savings so we can buy the stuff that we want? We lost our daycare, so I had to put all my work on hold. So, there's just a lot of stuff. And I was like, no, like, stop, Mac. Like, you have the tools, like, figure this out. And I'm like, okay, my highest guides and angels, it is not serving me to sit in an empty house right now. Like, that's not my life mission. Like, you get this house filled. And I prompted them. I'm like, do what you need to do, but surprise me. Please intervene. I'm asking you to fill my house with furniture that I love. Okay, so get specific. I don't want a bunch of junk. I want stuff that's in my aesthetic, my style, all this stuff. I kid you not, a week later, one of my good friends that also lives here in Los Angeles bought a home 2 years before we did. And he is a thriving anesthesiologist, and he's also gay. So his tastes are like impeccable. Like, he only gets the good stuff. Like, this is the kind of friend to keep around. And he calls me, he's like, Mac, I decided to hire a designer and I need to get rid of all the stuff, but I just bought it 2 years ago. Do you want it? I just need you to pick it up at this date. And I got like all Crate and Barrel stuff, like brand new. And I filled my house And I was like, no, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like, my husband could not believe it. And I told him that. And he's like, you do it every time. I don't know how you do it. So have fun with this. The sky is not the limit. Get comfortable with this invocation. And then tomorrow we'll go a little bit deeper into the art of how you really work with cooperating with your spirit guides. And if you don't know what to ask, we'll go over this a little bit deeper. But you can also say, please intervene and show me, like, so super clear. Like, I don't want any mistake in what I'm being told. What are my next steps? What am I capable of? What can I do? So start that relationship. So we're going to end that today. That's, again, super easy. But I do want to go ahead and open up the mic because we've gone through 20 minutes. So if you need to hop off, I totally understand. But I have time. So if anyone has questions or if you want to engage in any sort of conversation about this, I'm happy to stick around and answer your questions.
I just want to say that I know this stuff works because I'm a huge manifester. Like, I'm crazy. I'll manifest everything and anything, and I literally will get anything and everything I ask for. And it sounds crazy, but it's so true. And it's so simple, but it works.
It really does. It really does. And I say all the time, I'm like, our guides have just been waiting for us to come into this level of awareness forever. They really are twiddling their thumbs when it comes to us telling them, like, will you please intervene already? Because your guide, Michelle, is a perfect example. So we did another workshop where we were channeling Akashic records and spirit guides, and she had this guide come in, literally stalk her for like 2 weeks. She didn't know who it was, and it was Michelle's spirit guide, and he was so excited to get involved here. He's like, look at me, look at me. And it was just so cute and so precious. But they want your success. They want your support. They don't like seeing us suffer. So any way that we can get through life a little bit easier, even though we are here to complete specific, I'm just gonna stop sharing here. Even though we are here to complete specific missions and stuff, we don't have to do it with such level of difficulty the way our humans have made this. We really don't. And I do want to share real quick, just to kind of go on this roll, since y'all are here. Over the weekend, I had a pretty profound experience because I had a ad in January or February. And if you're familiar, his name is Sadhguru, and he is that yogi out of India. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, he's going to be here in LA, like, done. And it's his last inner engineering event ever outside of India, because I think he is getting, a little older, and he travels like crazy. So I didn't really know what to expect. And of course, they threw a ton of like online work and all this stuff, and they were super strict. They're like, you got to do it, otherwise you can't come in. But we're going to teach you a technology, and this technology is this ancient yogi practice that has been kept secret for years. And there were some specific reasons why. And I was like, holy cow, that is so crazy. But I'm not going to get into that here. And so they took us for 2 full days, like 14-hour days. I was exhausted by the end of it. They're like, we're going to teach you the steps, and then you have to receive the transmission, because we can give you the instructions, but without the transmission from Sadhguru, it's not going to work. Again, no idea what to expect. So second day, we put everything into place, and he goes, okay, guys, so we're going to do this transmission. He gave us this direction. And when we got to the transmission point, he banged super loud into the microphone. This is so cool. And my soul like popped out of my body. Like, I couldn't believe what was happening. And I could see everything. And it was like, I cried for like an hour after. I couldn't get off the floor because it was so profound. Like, this is so cool. But here's the thing that I took away from that was everything we want is available to us. Everything. That was so clear. Everything we want is available to us. The question is, are you willing to take it? And it's our human selves that get in the way of that. And I really want to share that with you because it's like our higher selves, our guides, the ascended masters, all of them want us to create from our wildest dreams. And I want everybody to do that. So that's what I've like gonna keep preaching and like talking about. And when I thought I was like the only one that happened to, like other people were like, yeah, that's what happened. That happened to me too. And I'm like, what is happening? This is like my mind. I can't believe that's even like a thing. Like I'm shocked. And when I started it, my wrists were so swollen from arthritis. And after the transmission, it's gone. I'm like, what is happening? So I keep telling everyone to go do that thing too. So there's an opportunity here for people to do things that are so beyond their conscious mind. And I'm clearly still on a high from it, but use this tool. I know it's certainly not Seguru's tool by any means, but it is going to start turning the wheels. It's time, people. We got to get out of ancient times. We're getting out of the suffering. We're getting out of the karmic patterns, and we're moving into some really high times, and it's very exciting.
Ready.
So if you guys have any questions at all, I'm going to go ahead, I guess, let you go unless there's
Thank you.
anything else you want to talk about or questions.
Unfortunately, I have to go. I do, but
Okay.
this is great. And I'll see you
Perfect.
tomorrow. And
Yes, I'll
nice
see you
to be on with
tomorrow.
you ladies.
Well, send me a message when you
Okay.
can, and I'll respond. Okay.
See you later. See you
See you
tomorrow.
later.
Bye.
Thank you, Jojo. Thank you,
Bye.
Jamie.
Thank
Thank you, Michelle. This was so great. I believe, Jojo, is this your first workshop with me?
Yes.
Did you find me on TikTok?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, what made you come today?
I'm interested in learning.
Good. Awesome. Awesome. In learning what exactly? Just spirit guide stuff?
Manifesting, yes, and just spirit guides and just the spirit world.
Awesome. Well, you've come to the right place. Thank you for coming. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Every
Thank
person
you
that
for your
comes,
time.
it's like so exciting. So great. Well, we'll end it at that. I will see everyone tomorrow, same time, super easy. We're going to get a little deeper into the art of working with guides. Take it from there. Okay.
Thank you.